Belinda and HarperAudio Australia present this unabridged recording of Tested, Stories of How What We Overcome is What We Become, written by Pat Cummins and read by Nick Davey-Greene and Pat Cummins.
For Mum. I know you would hate the attention and credit for this, but you taught me that everyone has a story and to stay curious enough to find out what it is. You were tested more than anyone should be. You showed me the meaning of resolve every single day that you stayed strong for us. Introduction. When the call came through telling me that I was being considered to become the next Australian Test captain, my initial thought was, please, not now. It was November 2021, and I was in quarantine on the Gold Coast with most of the Australian team, the English side, and also my wife, Becky, and our baby son, Albie. It felt like everything was happening all at once. Albie had been born a month earlier, and after only a handful of days together, I had to fly out for the T20 World Cup in the United Arab Emirates. We won that tournament on the 14th of November, then flew back to Australia and entered quarantine, ready for a quick turnaround for an Ashes series scheduled to start at the Gabba on the 8th of December. I was so appreciative that Becky and Albie were allowed to enter quarantine with me because I desperately wanted to spend time with them away from cricket and crowds. I wanted the three of us to get away from the world, and frankly, I wanted to start to learn to be a dad and to pull my weight in this new family. Then, a few days into quarantine, the phone rang. It was our high-performance coach telling me that Tim Payne was being removed as captain of the Test team and that the board wanted me and Steve Smith to present to the Cricket Australia selection panel, making our cases to replace him. Please, not now. I firmly believe that everyone has the capacity to start from square one on anything, if they're given the space to do so. Now I found myself at square one, being a dad and potentially Test captain. I was already working to capacity on one thing, and along came another. I'd also had in my head that I'd learn how to be a dad, a leader within the team too, and then, maybe later, I'd be ready to be captain. Those weren't the only reasons I was reticent though, nor, if I was being honest, the primary reasons. The truth was, I didn't feel prepared. I'd recently captained New South Wales in a handful of one-day matches, but before that, I hadn't captained a side since I was 15. I hadn't even really thought that much about being the captain, even though I'd been a vice-captain for some time. I was a bowler after all. There hadn't been a bowler who'd captained the Test team for generations. Those were my initial thoughts. It wasn't until I started to put a presentation together for the selection panel that my mind changed, wholly and fully. I found I had strong feelings about what kind of captain I'd want to be and what kind of team I'd like to lead. I wanted to empower the other players and to collaborate with them. I wanted to foster an environment of respect, and I wanted the team to be role models for young players while being authentic and honest. I wanted the team to be curious, to help others, and to strive for joy. I also just wanted us to have a lot of fun. I put some declarative quotes in a presentation I felt was itself authentic and honest. Being a cricketer is part of life. It doesn't define me. And all problems can be solved. I still refer to that document now, checking my outcomes against my goals as a captain. In putting that presentation together, I realised I had more leadership experience than I'd imagined, both on and off the pitch. I felt like I knew my own style and perspective. My life had been full in the past few years, and I'd changed. In my youth, I'd sometimes been passive and dogmatic, but I felt I was now less so. I'd grabbed life with both hands. I'd had to. I'd become engaged to the love of my life and welcomed a son into the world. My mum had also been given the devastating information that the cancer that had started in her breast had spread to her brain. She would not go into remission. Mum always used to tell me,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?